I recently posted that I haven't felt anything since my mom died, which is a true statement. My emotional well is dry, it's empty. I'm not even gonna lie. But what I find interesting was the response to that, where people are like, oh my goodness, that's so sad, that's so terrible. I don't agree. I don't think that that's really awful. I get to look at life from a logical and a reasonable disposition. And so I initially wasn't going to watch this special from Dave Chappelle. Now, if you are familiar with my content at all, you know the type of esteem in which I hold Mr. Chappelle too. I mean, he really did do wonders for this nation when it came to a lot of the things that we talk about, because that we're talking about to this day, because without him, there's a so many jokes and things that him and Neil Brennan, I believe his name is, that's his white writing partner. They wrote Half Baked together. They were writing Chappelle Show together. I mean, they really were a fantastic collaborative team. They truly were. I can't speak to their interpersonal, but I can speak to what they were able to produce together, and it was magnificent, absolutely fantastic. And so it goes to a theme that I have on this channel, where this nation's greatest strength has been its collaboration, has been, working together. White, black, man, woman, like the spirit of, yeah, we have a goal to accomplish, let's go accomplish that goal. I like, it really is an amazing thing. And so to have Mr. Chappelle come out and release this, like I said, I initially wasn't going to watch it, but it's Dave, man. It's Dave, and you have to. Let me, just step it around a little bit, and you have to give the man, just your time and attention. And one of the things that initially, like, caught my ear with Dave before, and we're talking about the other Netflix specials, was him saying, "Oh, Kaepernick sacrificed so much." Jesus Christ, Dave, seriously, cut it out. But, but as I sat here and I listened to the special, I gotta say, Dave's sincerity and how genuine he is truly is his greatest asset. It speaks a lot to his character. Dave has a character unique to himself, where he can do, events like this. He can pull people together. I've been hearing a lot of stories where Dave just, walks the earth like Kane and Kung Fu, and gather around, gather around. Let me tell you a story. It's amazing. It truly is. It truly is. But the deal is that one of the things that he speaks on in this channel, on this special, is his grandfather, his great grandfather, who was a slave. And he is very emotional and it's very raw. It's pure emotion. But the thing that just strikes my mind the entire time I'm watching it is that, Dave, you are a benefactor to all of that pain. When it comes to, the police and particularly urban, because I don't want to say, you guys know I'm more geographical than anything. So the police in urban districts, that relationship is a very frail one, and it's frail by design. We've talked about the prison farming system for a very long time on this channel. And so it's like the each interaction is so nuanced to project as much as everyone does onto every little one. It's a lot. It's a lot. And once again, it's Americans who are having these problems with police. Yes, Dave, you brought out, you've been talking about this for a very long time, particularly in our communities. But many of your stories end up with, "Hey, I'm Dave Chappelle, I get off," and you know why, Dave? Because of the character that you've presented. You get what I'm saying? Like, it does ultimately boil down to the type of person that you are. And whereas I'd love to be able to be like, "Oh my goodness," like, because he goes in on Candace Owens in this in this special. Like, yeah, he really goes hard at her. But the deal is that at the end of the day, it really is a projection more than anything else. It's a projection of, oh, well, because we share a skin color, that person who in many cases is legitimately doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Um, but they ended up going down via the state. It's heartbreaking, but it's also life. Everybody loses people. We all have. And so when I talk about, ending the drug war and um a lot of the policies that law enforcement are forced to are forced to uphold, that's why. Yeah, it's not just about, the color of your skin. I'm sorry. It really isn't. The American citizen has been a lamb led to slaughter for 50, 60 years. And whereas if I were to be emotional like Dave and go into all the instances, even I've had, of issues with police, what does it solve? Like, what does it solve? And so, with all due respect, Dave, you like this, as much as terrible as this country can be, you are a benefactor of all the sacrifices made before you, as am I, as is, any American under listening to my voice right now. I mean, we live a relatively comfortable life, even the third world parts of our country, the urbanest of the urban sectors of our country, comparably speaking, pretty okay, pretty decent. So you can't, and this is gonna sound a little harsh, but you cannot create an omelet without breaking some eggs, guys. And our past, our history, as traumatic as it is, I don't want it torn down. I don't want that sacrifice that your great grandfather made, or like that, to go up in vain, because there's these people, these very communistic, fascistic individuals that, really use that history, take that history, and exploit the ever loving shit out of it. That's the thing. He in his special, he talks about how, the streets speak for themselves. Yeah, well, it's one thing for the streets to speak for themselves, another thing for people not from those streets to come around to start handing out bricks and telling people to burn things down and to riot things and to riot. I'm like, they, as much as I love Dave Chappelle, I cannot agree with, the streets burning down the jobs that, feed the people that supposedly live there, or outside agitators coming in and tearing down statues, and, Antifa deciding, yeah, we're gonna just take up a whole 6 blocks. It's anarchy. It's the other side of the coin, you know. But what can you say, right? I mean, he's Dave Chappelle. The guy's a legend that even I acknowledge, right? But, bro, that was so emotional. It's nothing but pure emotion. That's it. Like, and at the end of the day, yeah, you're 100% correct. No, life matters, right? Like, I don't want anyone to go out the way that George Floyd did. I don't want anyone to go out the way that those dogs in Chinese wet markets go out. Like, oh my goodness, yeah, I'll be feeling terrible for those dogs. Like, like, oh my, I'm so much more compassionate now. like, like 18-year-old Jay is like, yeah, yo, can I get a can I get a taste of that? 20 years later, like, you know what? Wow, that pup feels pain, man. Don't do that to that doggy. No. So, I don't want anyone hurt. Like, he goes in on, cops being slayed, as well as people being slayed, and it's back and forth, and it's a tit for tat. And the deal is that I don't like, I see all of those people as individuals who, hopefully, fingers crossed, have families to go home to, right? The cops and the robbers. And the deal is that when particularly when it comes to the professionals, professional criminals, yeah, there's assumed risk along with the police side. I don't want, but this is tough. It really is, because I just disagree with the notion of, continuously laying all the, what's the name, laying all the, like, projecting our own, say, like, projecting everything onto one individual, and then allowing other individuals such as the BLMs and Antifa, who really couldn't care less about solving these issues because these issues keep them paid, like, giving them a pass. No, not at all. Sorry, Dave. I completely disagree with that premise, because it's being used. That history, that you're speaking of, this is him talking about, when the guns were, when the NRA, and I don't, like, who cares about the NRA? It's another organization. It's another institution. What are you expecting them to do back then? What are you expecting them to do now? I mean, seriously, guys, the history is trash, but without the history, we don't get to where we are, right? Or where we were, until they've decided, until, like Antifa and those who really hate our current president, decide they want to just destroy everything and destabilize the nation that our folks helped to build. That's the thing. I don't believe in throwing the baby out with the bathwater. And it's sad that, in many ways this will be used. I mean, and hold on real quick, because I know I'm running a little bit long here, but I just, when it comes to Dave Chappelle, love this guy. Like, seriously, he's a descendant of, and I feel like, and his comedy has been transformative in ways we couldn't even imagine. But to push this victim narrative, to continuously push this victim narrative, and then to pretend as if, when it comes to criminality, our communities aren't purposefully built to, and to create that antagonistic relationship between the civilians, or, well, the criminal elements who happen to be black or brown, quote unquote, people of color, against, usually these days, black and brown police force. So my guy, like, we can solve these by going after the policies. But as far as, oh, like, what don't they get? Dude, there's shit you're not getting. There's tons of things you're not getting, and namely that, like, yo, most people become cops because, yeah, they want a pension. Like, they want that security. But and many of them shouldn't be cops, right? But when you sit there and when you purposefully remove a lot of the manufacturing away from these urban spaces, and make it so that, it's insanely expensive, and then B, incredibly difficult to raise a family. What do you expect? Oh, and let's not even get into all the pitfalls. Those exact same pitfalls, right? The drug war that everybody is just happily ignoring. Or, oh, we're gonna talk about policy, bruh. I'm tired of talking. Just drop something. You know what I'm saying? Just drop. I want to see the bill. I want to see the bill introduced. Damn it. Not that crap that they're trying to do in Congress. This is a local thing. You should be looking to your local leaders for this. Your local, not leaders, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Your local elected representatives for this, because they're supposed to represent your will and your wants. So, guys, America, we are better than, we're it's an awesome nation. This country is fantastic. I love being an American. I know that there is a ton of problems, but as someone who has gone from coast to coast, literally lived from coast to coast, and interacted with each and every, whatever your style is, I promise I've interacted with it in a positive light. Why? Because, like my dad used to always tell me, no matter where you go in this world, you take you with you. That being said, all the internet stuff. If you liked it, toss it a like. Dislike, go ahead, do that too. Nobody's scared of you. Sub if you enjoy my fantastic voice and you want to get videos like this every single day. Share, because sharing is caring. And YouTube and Bitchute and like on the biggest fans of your boy over here. Bang the bell for notifications and speak. Let me know. What do you guys think in the comments? This was very emotional, but we had, like, not my video. It's actually all about logic and reason. His special was very emotional, and I believe released to, keep those embers going, keep all these people and they butt hurt, when that's literally the exact opposite of what we need right now. Sorry, Dave, but in this one, I completely disagree. But you may disagree with me, and that's what my comment section's for. Until the next one.